So, so if all of you are back, I have a question. Did you find anything other than what was there on the slide? Is there anything missed out? Is there anything missed out? You can share, no problem.
I think before contest, Manju, so District 120 have any guidelines, minimum number of judges in the panel at club level, area level, division
Yeah,
level? Other
actually,
than contest rule book, we have
yeah,
contest rule book. And in District 120, we have any guidelines, specific guidelines?
yeah. I'll be going through that. I'll be going through that. The addendum is not yet passed by the district council. So once the addendum is passed, that will be shared with all of you. So district council, I think, is meeting in August. So once that is passed, we'll share. But I'll be addressing that question in the upcoming slides.
Aditi, this is Rita. I have a request that during the club contest or any contest, when the role players are getting recognized, please do not avoid recognizing the tally counters. They are part of the contest management team. You may declare or you may recognize them along with the CJ while you are going to uh, before the declaration of the results, because they are also inside the room along with the CJ.
Yeah.
So, but they are not the voting judges. They need not be hidden. They have done their part.
Yeah.
So please recognize the tally counters.
Ma'am, that's a very important point, very crucial point. We must thank. So we acknowledge, ma'am. Definitely, that's a great point. So before the CJ is recognized, we can do that. Okay. So all the groups, all the breakout rooms, at least one question. I hope you have put in the chat window by now. Okay. So now we will move back to, I want to show you one form before I go ahead. I just want to know whether you are familiar with something known as video release forms. Have you seen this video release form?
Yes.
Okay, because why I'm
Yes.
saying it,
Yes.
for online speech contest, no, you need to get the video release form signed, particularly because in our contest we are recording. So this should be notified by the contest chair to all the contestants. So the contest chair will usually send uh, three things by email. In the TMI rulebook also they say that three things are sent in an email to a contestant. What are those three things?
Eligibility
And
form,
forms,
Eligibility, yeah, contestant eligibility. Okay.
profile,
contestant forms,
contestant profile, and
Okay.
video release form.
No, actually, the rule book says send the rule book also. Rule book has to be shared with each and every contestant. Okay. Apart from that, online contest kindly share the video release form. So basically, four things we need to take care. The contest chair can send. Okay. So now I will move back to my PowerPoint, and all the questions I am requesting Gopika, the Toastmaster Gopika. I know I am burdening her, but since there are so many questions, I need her help in order to move forward so that we can save time also. So she'll be consolidating all the questions and then we'll be taking it up at the end. So our team, that is myself, DTM Subbu and Toastmaster Vaishali, will be together answering this towards the end. So kindly put at least one question per breakout room. So if you are part of breakout room, you have every right to put your questions. So now I will just summarize this particular slide for you. You can also add on any point which was missed out, because some of the things we were intentionally leaving it. I'll tell you one point. For example, you would have seen I put appoint timers and tally counters. I just put test speaker. I did not say appoint. You know why? Because the TMI rule book is not telling explicitly whether CJ will appoint or not. So we have written to the Toastmasters International to get clarification regarding this. Once we have it, we will be definitely confirming. But in our district, we are recommending that the CJ, the chief judge, as part of the addendum and all, CJ could be involved in the test speaker appointment, so that the confidentiality of the test speaker name, etc., could be maintained, right? Instead of leaving it to the club or area, let the chief judge be involved in this. That's only a recommendation. However, the rule book does not state that explicitly. If you go to if you see page number 21 onwards you have in the rule book. If you have the rule book, you can open it. You can see page number 21 onwards. Checklist is the contest. Chair checklist, chief judge checklist, contestant checklist. In that they have not mentioned that appointment of the. That's why I didn't put appointment, but I said test speaker, recommendation, CJ. Now let's start with the first one. We start with the discussion with contest chair. As soon as you are appointed as the CJ, you will discuss with the contest chair and get the list of contestants and the forms from the contestants. Basically, the contest chair will get that, but you still need to have it with you. I'll tell you why later on. You need that later on for your, during the contest and after the contest, the some activity you will need that. Okay. The second one, of course, is it's common sense. We need to find judges, judging team. Now the TMI rule book says 5 to 7, etc. But for club and all. But the thing is, even if the TMI rule book says minimum 5 to 7, our recommendation is have additional 1 or 2. So that if any of the voting judges, because it is very common that especially with all this COVID crisis going on, people are falling ill, etc. It is always better to have contingency planning and arrange backup judges well in advance. Secondly, if any of your voting judges drop off, suppose halfway through the online contest, 2 judges drop off, what will you do? You will be left with the less than minimum number of voting judges needed, correct? And if a judge drops off, the judge has to inform the CJ, I am not able to submit the ballot because I could not listen to one contestant. This is entirely up to the integrity of the voting judge as well. This point was again mentioned by our district director, integrity. So Vaishali also mentioned, Toastmaster Vaishali also mentioned about it. So here always safer have additional backup judges. If they say 5 to 7, have 5 plus 2, and since it's online, right, one way it is a blessing. You know why? Because earlier if you have a contest in Siriseri or if you have a contest in Virudhunagar, it is very difficult to get people from 100 kilometer away to come and actually do the voting judge role, right? But in online, sitting here in Chennai, you can attend the Nagarkoil contest, or you can even get judges from outside of the district. If you are getting judges from outside the district, kindly share the addendum, district 120 addendum, once it's passed by the district council with them, and so that they are familiar with when to reconnect, because when to reconnect, this rule varies from district to district. Okay, for example, last year in our district they said within 2 minutes you can rejoin for the district speech contest, but in some districts they have taken a different stance. So it's better to share if you are having voting judges from outside the district. But within the district, right, you have ample opportunity in an online contest to get judges if you start searching for judges well in advance. Again, it's as a CJ, I would say it is your negotiation ability, your persuading and influencing ability, which is there as a path, in fact, right? Persuasive influence. So all these skills you can improve by persuading the judge. For example, I may ask say Kundavi, DTM Kundavi, can you come for judging on August 7th? And she says no. I will again go back to her. August 14th, I have another contest. Can you come? She will say no. I will not leave her. Again, September, I'll ask. Then she will say no. Then what happened? No? Next, I say, okay, if you are not free these 3 months, next ISC again I'll try. So basically, definitely, if you play the CJ role, your persuasive influence, your negotiation ability definitely will improve, and this is a crucial. So don't expect that people will arrange voting judges for you. And don't give up your right to choose your judges. The right to choose the voting judges is only the CJs and no one else. Even the contest chair cannot do. The district officials also cannot do. It is your right. So exercise that right and use integrity. I would say this is only integrity is something very difficult to emphasize, right? It's only up to each one of us. Next, we move on to appointing timers and tally counters. Already DTM Subbu mentioned that other role players like SA, Sergeant at Arms, and many other roles like technical admin, everything the contest chair will take care. But timers and tally counters appointment is these CJ's, right? It is there in the checklist. If you see from page 21 onwards, right, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, etc., in the rule book the checklist is mentioned. It clearly mentioned appointing timers and tally counter. However, we recommend in D120 that at club level and all, if you're fixing timers and tally counters, kindly consult the contest chair if you want to give chance for the club level members to play these roles, right? Timers and tally counters, definitely you can involve, but it is your checklist item to appoint timers and tally counters. Test speaker, as I said, it is subject to debate because it's not clearly mentioned, but we are recommending, we have written to TMI because it's not there in the checklist, neither in the contest chair checklist nor in the chief judge, like who appoints the test speaker, but we are recommending let the chief judge do. Now moving on to the next part. If the if the contest chair inquires, right, contest chair inquires, you need not give the judge's name because that is again completely confidential. Tie-breaking judge's name should be known only to the CJ. So that means if you are briefing the judges also, tie-breaking judge, you should brief separately. You cannot put them in the same room and brief them. Okay. If the contest chair inquires for arranging mementos or trophies or whatever, in such a scenario you can give the number but not the name. If it is a corporate club and if they need you to register to go in physical, in the next 6 months anyway, physical meetings are not, physical contests are not there, all the contests will be online next 6 months. But in the future, if it is there also, in that also kindly do not have an option for registration as judges, have as other role player or as guest. Register judges as guest, not as judges. Okay, in the forms I've seen that register as judge, please don't do that. Then next one, briefing the voting judges. I already I think we already saw from Toastmaster Vaishali's thing. What about the ballot, right? What are the 3 components of a ballot? 3 components. There are many things: physical, voice, mannerism, appropriateness, correctness. But in 3 lines, if you say, I'll give you clue: CDL. What is C? What is D? What is L?
Content
Delivery.
Super. Super. I think you must all be great listeners because you got it right. Whatever Toastmaster Vaishali mentioned, right? Content, delivery, and language. Okay, all the 3 are important, and every section, like I think DTM Thomas had mentioned the chat window, I saw that. Basically, you cannot say, hey, I like this speech, let me put this guy as first. No. Even if you like that speech, just try putting in the ballot. You may be surprised that, oh my god, even though I like this speech, actually his language is not so good, or maybe he did not do the conclusion. I'm reducing in speech development. Okay, so when you actually put it in the ballot, you will realize that there's a bias. Hey, I like Abhishek's speech, or I like Praveena's speech. But when you actually put it, you may find a different results. Always follow the ballot. Then briefing the timers and tally counters. Yes, the timers and tally counters also need to be briefed. In online contests, better to brief these people well in advance. So the contest chair will brief the contestants, the contest master, role players like sergeant at arms or the technical admin, etc. But CJ has to brief the timers and tally counters. Okay, tally counters separately, timers separately. And the tally counter also, you can mention that even though the judges may send to the tally counter, right, this you can share the number of the tally counter to the judges and they can send by WhatsApp or email to them. But as a backup, please ask the tally counters to share, please ask the judges to share with you in case any tally counter drops off or some issue happens in that scenario. Okay, then during the contest, what we need to do? And here you see one box is in blue, that all contestants are eligible. The contestants eligibility already DTM Subbu has covered, so I'm not getting into it. It is the contest chair's responsibility to check that, but again CJ can confirm with the contest chair. CJ can confirm with the contest chair, did you do a briefing? In fact, if you are agreeing to be a contestant, there are a lot of people when they say I am a contestant, I am called for briefing, why are you disturbing me? Why are you calling me for briefing, rehearsal? If you see the TMI rulebook, it clearly states a contestant has to attend 2 things. One is that rehearsal. They have mentioned that word rehearsal. and the other thing is the pre-contest briefing, the contestants briefing. These two things you are agreeing to participate, and if you are an evaluation contestant, you are agreeing to the TMI rule book rule that yes, I will stay in a contestant holding room, whether you like it or not. If you want to participate in an evaluation contest as per TMI rule book, yes, you have to stay in a contestant holding room and agreeing to respect the rules there, and of course use integrity during the contest. If you see like arriving ahead of time, these are basic things that's why I put in blue is not there in the rule book. Okay, blue is my recommendation, the blue boxes. Okay, arriving ahead of time is not mentioned in the rule book. That's common sense. CJ, please be ahead of time and see if timers have timing devices, and if you have all the forms, right, contestant forms, etc., get it from the contest chair, video release forms, etc. You can have a copy with you. But the contest profile, contestants profile and eligibility forms, you should have a copy with you as well. Now for evaluation contest, you can inspect the contestant holding room before the first contestant starts speaking. Now this is a recommendation because even in the physical, actually the CJ can actually go and ensure that all the contestants are inside the room except for the first contestant, and at no point they are stepping out, and the sergeant at arms is there. In online contest, already Subbu mentioned, there are two SAS. In case one drops off, the other will still take care of the sanctity of the holding room or the contestant holding room. Now the next part is ensuring that the voting judges, tally counters, timers have the required forms, and ensuring TMI contest rules are followed. So you can share the rule book version also, the latest version of the rule book also with all the voting judges. In case they don't have, I think most of them have it, but if they don't have, you can always share it. In physical contest, it's always good to have a printout with you as well. Handling protest is the most important aspect, where the CJ will have to work with the contest chair. For example, see, protest can be raised only on 3 grounds. What are the 3 grounds? Subbu already covered. That's
Plagiarism, timing, and
okay, no, timing protest cannot be raised. Okay, timing disqualification can happen, but protest can be raised. Yeah, plagiarism is one thing. Other than plagiarism, that is originality. The exact word is originality. Originality. What is
eligibility,
eligibility? Very good. Contest.
referencing another person's.
Excellent. Reference to another person. So another contestant, right? Reference to another contestant. So there again, there is a debate. I'll show you that slide in a short while, because in the TMI rulebook result, there are 2 places where they say it in a slight different manner. Okay, so follow the TMI rulebook. If it is eligibility, the current rulebook says that even if the contest is over, but later we find that the eligibility criteria was not met, even if you are the first prize winner, yes, you can be disqualified, and the prize will go to the next person. Okay, it's like the Olympics. Even if you declare the first prize gold medal winner, if you fail in the drug test, right, your medal will be taken away and given to the next one. Same here in TMI rulebook. Even if you declare the winner, yes, after that also eligibility criteria has been violated, means you can be that prize can be taken from you and given to the next person in the notification form. Now collecting the timer records is also responsibility of CJ, and ballot from tie-breaking judge. At no point it should go to the tally counter. Tie-breaking judge should be known only to the CJ, so ballot should be taken by the CJ only. Working with the tally counters to determine the results and ensuring results are announced correctly by the contest chair is again responsibility of CJ. However, when the results are announced, right, even if there is a mistake, even the tally counter or the timer can tell there is a mistake. For example, if the contest chair says no disqualification, actually there is a disqualification. Even the timer, the chief timer whose time record has been submitted as per the TMI rulebook can state, or the CJ can state. If a tally counter finds that the result is declared instead of 321, some other name, 312 or some other name is mentioned, they can also point out at that point of time. Sending the notification form to the next level's contest chair. Here the point is TMI rulebook, it says you have to send to the next level's contest chair, not to the current contest chair. The current contest chair can provide details of the contestants. to you. Okay, that is where the first box comes. We told, no, get the forms from the contestants and get it from the contest chair. If you have that, you can also fill it, but if it's not filled, you can ask the contest chair to send it to you, but please don't share the notification form to that same contest chair. You should share to the next level. Suppose you don't know who's the next level's contest chair, in that case you can share it to them. For example, if it's club, then share it to the area director, and then who in turn will share to the next contest chair. But advisable, as per the TMI rulebook, it says share to the next contest chair only. But exception is, if you don't know, in that case you can send it to the next level. So if it is club, send to the area director. If it is area, you can send to the division director, and if it is division, you can send to the PQD. And the once the contest chair is declared for that next level, they will share. So this is in summary the chief judges training. This and all already covered. So protests also we just discussed, you had told. I just want to cover these 3 points. Okay, these 3 points. The reason is, if you see originality, right? Originality already we covered. 25% or less of the speech may be devoted to quoting, paraphrasing, referencing another person's content, but not another contestant. Not another contestant. You can reference Barack Obama, or you can reference Mahatma Gandhi's content or Abdul Kalam's content, etc., but not another contestant from that same contest. For example, if Praveena is participating in humorous speech contest and she spoke about some particular incident, Praveena's mom and Praveena were having that, in my speech I cannot reference that. Okay, because that is covered in the very next point here. If you see page number 9, it says contestants must not reference another contestant or a speech presented by another contestant. I told you there is a little bit difference in wording. If you see reference another contestant, that is, I cannot say Praveena, or speech presented by another contestant, that is Praveena. But if you see in page 15, on page 15, rule 7a, we have written to TMI for this. Here they say protests are limited to eligibility, originality and reference to another contestant's speech alone. Here they are not saying reference to another contestant. So we want clarification. We have written. You see the slight change in verbiage, right? Slight change. There it says contestant and or a speech prepared by another contestant. Here it says only contestant speech. So we have written to TMI. We will let you know as soon as we get the details. Now the contestant eligibility already, plagiarism already we have looked at it. And if there is plagiarism, the contest chief judge should consult the voting judges, and majority of the voting judge should concur. I put it in red or maroon or burgundy here. Majority of the voting judges should concur. Based on that only decision will be made, and there should be solid proof submitted. If I just say I have heard it somewhere, that's not good enough. You need to say, in this book, Agatha Christie's this book I have seen, or this particular YouTube video, TEDx speech I have seen. Show that evidence. Only then they will, and even then the contestant can defend. The contestant says, if you say, okay, it is from a blog, but the contestant says, actually it is my own blog, I am using fake ID. I am using the ID Fantastic Dream Girl. I am only Fantastic Dream, and they have to log in and show, I am Fantastic Dream Girl, this is my ID, and I'm, because that also happens, right? We have fake IDs and we may be using. So in such a scenario, give a chance to the contestant to defend themselves before a decision is taken. Now moving on to, I want to show this part. I think this already was shared by our Vaishali, like judges eligibility form. Here the chief judge has to ensure that there is sign by the judge in the judges code of ethics and eligibility form, as well as in the ballot also. So it is better to tell the judges, please sign the ballot in advance and keep, because in online putting the digital sign takes time, right? Or if you are taking a printout, it's much easier, you can always do it. If you are not in a position to take printout, affixing the digital sign takes some time. So better to put the sign on the ballot in advance and keep. Okay, now I would like to move on to, so this we just covered ballot part. If there are, Vaishali also covered that, only one contestant's name should be there for first place. First place cannot be shared by 2 people, only one. Second place also by 1, and third place also by 1. So next I would like to show you the tie breaking judges guide and ballot. This was not shown by Vaishali, that's why I am showing you this. it's the same. Okay, content delivery, this all those parts, content delivery, language, all those parts are same, judging items are same, only thing different. What is different? This is different. See this, in that only 1 2 3 is there, here 1 to 10 are there. Now you may ask the question, what about if more than 10? Suppose 11 are there, that is a decision the CJ and the contester will have to take whether to keep one contest. Usually in a D120 we may be recommending that beyond 16 we can split into two and then have as a run-off contest. In TMA rulebook it says run-off contest, you need not declare 1 2 3 for the run-off, that is semi-final. You need not declare, you can just take the top 3 and then conduct the final. Okay, now I will like to show you the timer record sheet. Timer record sheet, this is a timer record sheet, and along with this I have a question for you. There is an evaluation minimum eligibility time for evaluation. What is that? You can unmute and say or put in the chat window.
2 minutes.
Usually for club it is like that, but for speech contest it's 1 minute 30 seconds. So how you can find out? Don't trust me when I say it. Whenever anybody says no, refer the rule book or the time record sheet. In this, if you see, it is clearly mentioned 1 minute 30 seconds and upper limit is 3 minutes 30 seconds. Please watch out for the addendum, because in addendum if there is any internet disconnection etc., then we may give extra 30 seconds. Okay, humorous again, what is the minimum time limit? 4.5 minutes. Yeah, not 5, because in club we say 5, but it's speech contest, it's all like 4.5. So refer the time record sheet for that. This is the tally sheet. So tally counter needs to be briefed as I said, right? So this form you can tell them that, you know, first, second, third and all they have to fill. Okay, the tally sheet. So now we will see an example how to do the tallying, because after this we'll be having a mock demo. Demo will be there where you will listen to an actual speech and there will be 3 evaluators and we'll be doing judging. Judging means all of you have to do the judging. So now you may say, how to do the judging? You have been sent an email by the district TLI team with the ballot. If not, you can always put in Google or put in Toastmasters. You can find the evaluation, Toastmasters evaluation speech contest ballot. You can download, keep it ready now itself, okay, while you are looking at it, because you are going to do the judging after this. Okay, so let's look at the tally sheet. So here you see 5 contestants are the Asha, Rahim, Ashley, David, Balaji. In the tally sheet, name of the judge you can also put as J1, J2, J3, J4, J5. It's not mandatory to put the the entire name, because again the confidentiality clause also is there, right? And plus time constraint also. So you can just put J1, J2, J3, J4, J5. That's perfectly fine. But contestant name could be put. Okay, contestant name could be put. And contestant name, in this case all these are single name, but if you have like Asha, Sharath, Balaji, then you put that whole name also, that's also fine. So the tally counter can ready this in advance. Timer also can fill this in advance. The contestant speaking order is picked by the contester, right? That time itself it will be shared with all the voting judges as well as timer and the tally counter, so they can fill it and keep. Now what you see, 3 1 2. 3 means if the judges marked Rahim as the first prize winner, you give 3 points. If the judges given David second place, then you give 2 points. And if Ashley is given third prize, it is 1. Okay, so 3 2 1. So Rahim 3 first place, David 2 second place, Ashley 1 third place. Okay, so first prize winner gets the highest points, 3. Okay, like that you put for everyone. And in the last row you will see, right, 7 10 7 4 2. That is nothing, it's just the summary. It's the they just added it. Okay, you have done the adding. Now there is a question here. If you see there is a problem. Do you see a problem? What's the problem? Do you see a problem here? Yeah, because Vaishali told no, you cannot have keep Asha and Ashley second prize, right? You need to break the tie. So here you can put tie. Okay, the tally counter will say these two are tied. Okay, but all other positions we can put. You know why? First, fourth, fifth. And in this case again there are no time disqualification. That is why I put positions for all. But if at this point I find that David has time disqualified. As the chief judge, I will know the time record sheet, right? I would have collected and then I'll say, okay, David is not. Then in this case, what will happen? Who will get the fourth prize? I'll remove David, and who will get the fourth prize? Who will get the fourth prize?
Balaji.
Simple question, yeah, simple question. So we are just removing David, so it's automatically fourth will be Balaji if David is having time disqualified. But here in this case, all have qualified. So that is why there's only tie. Now what we need to do? We need to resolve the tie. It's not just if the tie is there for fourth and fifth also you need to resolve. If the tie is there for eighth and ninth position also we need to resolve. So we are going to see that. So this is the tie breaking judges ballot. Now this is something which I am sharing with you. Ideally the tie breaking judge is not shared with others. Here in this case this is what I had with me. Asha, Rahim, Balaji, David and Ashley. Now do you remember who had the tie? Tie was between Asha and Ashley. So all you need to do is check for Asha, Ashley. Who gets higher? Asha gets higher, right? Asha is first in the tie breaking judge. Ashley is fifth. So in that case, between Asha and Ashley, Asha greater than Ashley, right? Asha is higher rank than Ashley. So Asha gets that position. See, Asha gets second, Ashley gets third. Is this clear? Because you'll have to do it. If it's not clear, you have to ask now. Because in the mock,
Could you please repeat that?
yeah, it's if two contestants are tied in the tally sheet, right? If they are having the same points like 7 and 7, in that case CJ will read out. CJ will tell. Look at the tie breaking judge and say. Actually, they will not show you this. They will just tell you. Okay, Asha greater than Ashley. Asha is having higher position than Ashley. So you go back here. Asha greater than Ashley. So Asha will get second. Ashley will get third. Is this clear?
How that the one?
Yeah. Asha will get second and Ashley will get third because it is based on the tie breaking judges ballot which is there with the CJ. Only this is determined. Clear, right? You can show thumbs up sign or you can say yes also, no problem. Because this, okay, yeah, I see many thumbs up sign, yeah. Okay, so next is results form. Okay, the chief judge wants the tally counter. Okay, tally counter, if you see the tally sheet, I'll show that again. If you see, it's written first, second, third. Do you see this? First, second, third. Correct? Tally sheet. Okay, now if you see in the results form, right? However, the position is reversed. So many a time this is where the mistake happens. When it is 1, 2, 3, you are writing in results form the other way around. Third place, second place, first place. So in under tension, right? People when CJ and tally counters are doing it, CJ will be writing this results form. Don't get stressed out. Be very careful. It is 3 to 1, not 1, 2, 3 in the results form. So you can look at the tally counter sheet but write it in the reverse order, results form. And results are always announced in TM contest, Toastmaster contest in reverse order. That means we will declare the third place winner or second runner up first, then second place winner or first runner up, and then the winner or the first place winner in the contest. Okay, so next we have the notification form. I was telling you, right, after contest what you do. Actually during the contest also you can fill this. But why I kept after contest also notification form is sometimes you may not know the club number or the email address of the contestant. So notification form, what will happen is you have to go back to this thing. Do you see this? First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Do you see that? Rahim, Asha, Ashley, David, Balaji. Do you see that? Yes. Okay, so that same thing should appear here. Especially if no time got disqualification, only then you put this. Okay, so no time disqualification means all of these should be here. And if there are more people who did not get any voting judges ballots also, from the tie breaking judges ballot the CJ can refer and put all the contestants, put it here. So it is not just the first, second and third that should go into the notification form. Every single person who gets a vote, that means the tie breaking judges ballot, you can refer for those who are not having any voting judges ballot. So basically the tally sheet itself you can fill for all contestants. Okay, rank it 1 to how many contestants are there. Okay, so this notification from form needs to be sent. So if you don't know any particular, say for example, you don't know the email address of a contestant, you can refer the contestant profile form. Okay, or if suppose in that also they have not filled it, you can ask the contest chair. Contest, don't share the notification form with the contest chair, rather say for this contestant I need the club number, email id, phone number. You can ask like that. Or for these contestant, can you send it to me, all these club number, email id, and get that detail and fill it in. Okay, so this is the point, and this brings me to the end of the session. It's like you have the reference. These are some reference links, some of which we are sharing in the post session reading material also. So basic things are TMI contest rulebook and online speech contest guidelines. Okay, apart from that, there's FAQ which Vaishali will be covering during the 5 minutes silence when that evaluation contest will happen, right? Just before that there will be 5 minutes silence, during which Vaishali will cover the FAQ. Okay, other than this, contest kits, ballots were already sent by email to you, and D120 addendum, as I mentioned earlier, it will be shared with all of you. So that's it. I have a question now. While declaring the results, the contest chair made an error. Okay, who all can raise a concern? You can type in the chat window quickly. Answers are option A, ballot counters, option B, chief judge, option C, timer, option D is options A and B only, that is ballot counter and chief judge only, option E is option B only, that is chief judge only, option F is options A, B and D, that is ballot counters, chief judge and okay, actually A, B, C, A, B, D also is fine. Yeah, all the three. Which one? You can type in the chat window. Okay, I think all of you have got that right. Yes, because this was covered earlier, right? Ballot counters, chief judge or timer, all these three can help in detecting the error. Yeah. Okay, next this question. This is also a quick test of your understanding. Humorous speech contest was held in the morning and then it was adjourned. Later lunch break was declared. Okay, post that evaluation contest was conducted and then adjourned. At this point, one of the contestants raised a protest for humorous speech contest with respect to originality. More than 25, it's from YouTube or TEDx or whatever. So should this protest be considered as per the new rule book? Why I said new rule book? Because there's a clue there. You remember I compared the old rule book and new rule book. In that, you can unmute and say.
Yes, because as per new rule book, even if we announce the results after that, if we find contestant is not eligible, then they can be disqualified.
Actually, this is not eligibility criteria. This is originality, plagiarism. So only for eligibility after the contest also you can actually disqualify. But for plagiarism, protest has to be raised before the contest has been adjourned. Very important point. So you get it, before the lunch break, before that humorous speech contest was adjourned by that contest chair or contest master, because in our district we also have contest master. So if before they adjourn, the contest management officials adjourn it, you have to raise the protest. So even during lunch break, if you raise, it's not valid. Which one? The plagiarism part. Is clear? Okay. So now I have another question here. A chief judge had called a test speaker for a club level evaluation speech contest, and on the day of the contest, the test speaker backs off. Doesn't turn up. Maybe he's not well or something. Which of these is the better options among these? Like in terms of planning, the chief judge should have planned for a backup test speaker. Since there is no time left, the chief judge could deliver the test speech. Is that correct? Is that correct?
No.
No. Chief judge cannot deliver test speech. Very good. Chief judge should plan for a backup test speaker. Since there is no time, like he or she could ask the area director who is a district level election candidate to deliver the test speech. Zuma, could you please help mute? I think. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, if the area director is a district level election candidate, can they deliver test speech? You remember the new rule book? I mentioned this point: test speaker cannot be a district level election candidate. So this also no. What about point C? Actually, answer is point C here. Chief Judge should always arrange for backup test speaker so that this scenario does not arise. So that means for all contests, have a backup test speaker ready. So that if the test speaker drops away, especially in online contests, test speaker drops, immediately have that other person on standby mode. Okay, so that's it. Now let's move on. I will pass on the control to the to our contest master. Contest master is distinguished Toastmaster Subramaniam and Subramaniam Srinivasan. So he will be conducting the contest. So are all the contestants and the test speaker ready? So
Yes, Manju.
Yes. So over to distinguished Toastmaster Subramanian for conducting it.
So, hello everyone. We would be having a mock contest now, and we will not be going through the entire guidelines, the entire script. Okay, so we'll directly start with the introduction of the speakers, evaluation contestants. Okay, the order of the contestants. Okay, so hope you all have the speech ballot, evaluation speech ballot with you. Okay, so please get it ready. Let us proceed with the contest. The order of the contestants was randomly selected on a draw of numbers and is as follows. Contestant number 1, Aditya Chaganti. Contestant number 1, Rupa Vidya. Contestant number 1, Rupa Vidya. Contestant number 2, Aditya Chaganti. Contestant number 2, Aditya Chaganti. Contestant number 3, Brightlin Pavitra. Contestant number 3, Brightlin Pavitra. Okay, Chief Judge, Manju, hope I think all the necessary arrangements are done. Okay.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let us begin with this mock evaluation contest. Please help me welcome our test speaker, Toastmaster Rahul.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. So, can you please, to check your audio, can you please repeat, I am a test speaker?
I am a test speaker.
Okay. Chief Judge, can you please confirm if the test speaker is audible and visible?
Yeah, test speaker is audible and visible, and hope test speaker is speaking from the speaking position. Sure.
Yeah, right. Okay. Toastmaster Rahul, the gift, Toastmaster Rahul.
Oh my God. I got it finally. Gift. Let me open it. Okay. And once again, thank you, Toastmasters, for all the gifts I receive day in, day out. Let me tag. Oh, I will not tag my VP yet. He does not give me speech slots. I will tag VP PR. He always makes cool posters. Done. Oh, I got a comment. Toastmasters is all about communication or gifts. Well, we know Toastmasters is all about both, majorly communication and leadership. But my question is, have you ever opened your true gift? Not this one, this one. Let me tell you my story. When I got to know about my gift or my gifts, it was the year 2011. I was working in Samsung Electronics. As an engineer, Samsung was my dream company. I was on pinnacle of my success, of my career, Samsung Electronics. I would go from Gurgaon to Noida, and it would take 2 hours one side. So I started picking up these books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robin Sharma, Paulo Coelho. And I would read a book, and slowly and steadily, I was able to understand that we are not living to our fullest potential. In company, I would wait for the end of the month to have the salary credit and to shop after that. And my friends would come to me for coupons for mobile, for oven, for fridge, and whatnot. I would happily give them the gifts, coupons to them. But as I continued my reading, I realized I'm not living my fullest potential. We have this one life, dear friends, and we are here to unravel ourselves. It took me 3 months to decide I will find myself, my true gift. And what I did, I left my lucrative job of Samsung Electronics and joined a very small school at a 5 times lesser package. I repeat, 5 times lesser package. But I had a lot of time to find my hobbies, to discover my calling. I joined theater, I joined Toastmaster, I enrolled myself in creative writing workshops, I enrolled myself in mixed martial arts and also in music classes. Though I was learning how to manage myself, my life with less salary, I was enjoying my life to the fullest. After 2-3 years, I realized, oh, music is not my cup of tea. Not even theater, even not mixed martial arts. I loved reading books. I loved writing books. And I love speaking, sharing my ideas, my stories with people. And years went by. And one day my friend came to me, Rahul, you did a gross mistake leaving Samsung. Life is wasted. I smiled. My dear friend, you might be right from your perspective. In these 7 years, I found my calling. Who am I? In these 7 years, I wrote 10 books for children. And I felt so satiated. Like meeting them, I met my childhood. I met my inner child. And what I can do for them, I did. What I would be doing for myself if I could go back in time. Yeah, money matters. But in these 7 years, I joined a small school, working, nurturing that school, nurturing my calling. Now we have 2 schools and they're growing. And my 10 books, they are best sellers, not in India and UK, USA last year, without any promotion, without any advertisement. A lot of universities in India and abroad, they call me for motivation, inspiration speeches. Life is in exponential. You start small, you take time and you grow slowly and steadily and then exponentially. Have you ever asked yourself what your true gift is? Your gift is not for you, my dear friends. Don't take it otherwise. No. It is for the humankind. This gift is for you to give back to the world, to serve, to give it away. You might be a poet. You might be a writer, painter, a musician. Find your calling. Whenever you go to sleep or you walk alone in the morning or the evening, just ask yourself, who am I? What's my calling? What's my purpose? and what I can do with my talent I have. It might take a day, two, it might take a month or year. When you find yourself, the smile on your face will be different. And people would come to you and ask, you are different. And then, my friend, you will open your gift and say, I have found myself. When you are opening your gift, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rahul. Let us observe 5 minutes of silence for the evaluation contestants.
Yeah, and at this point, no, the essay, one essay is Vaishali, the other essay we have requested Toastmaster Sri Krishnan. So they will be checking in the real contest, okay? The essays will be checking whether the people are having the evaluation notes. Okay, if you don't have the evaluation notes, that item, like Subbu sir said, you can always have plain paper, but recommended to have a printout of the evaluation notes, which article number already mentioned by Subramanian sir. Okay, so now we request Zoom Master to mute. Yeah, thanks a lot. So in this 5 minutes of silence, while the contestants are writing the notes, we'll now, for the audience, hope all of you have taken notes of the speech, right? You have noticed the speech. Now based on the speech only, you will have to do the judging for the evaluation contestants. So meanwhile, we'll have Toastmaster Vaishali cover some FAQs for you from the Toastmasters website. So over to Toastmaster Vaishali, so that in the 5 minutes you can also learn something. So Toastmaster Vaishali. Yeah, thanks. So after this 5 minutes, the essays, right? The 2 essays will move to the holding room along with the second and third evaluation contestant. Like the speaking order was mentioned, right? The first contestant is Rupa Vidya, second is Aditya, and the third person is Brightlin Pavitra. Okay, so the second and third will be moved to the contestant holding room along with the essay. So Vaishali, would you like to take over for the FAQs? Sure. So over to Toastmaster Vaishali.
We have been getting a lot of questions in the chat about the contest, the judging criteria, and judging parameters. So Toastmasters Day International, they themselves have correlated few of the questions and they have presented in the form of FAQs in the website itself. So some of the things that we have to importantly see are, can a member serve as a contest chair at one contest and compete in another? So these are some of the questions that we get. At times we are tempted to take up both the leadership role and also for the communication. So what do we do at that point of time? So we want to be a chair at one place and we want to be the contestant at the other place. So as per the official thing, they say that yes, as long as the contest where the member is competing is serving as a contest chair, are not the same event. So that is the rule that we are supposed to follow. As I was saying in the voting process, don't take up roles where you are supposed to be the judge. But in terms of contest chair, it shouldn't be in the same season. It shouldn't be in the same contest. So that is what it happens. Normally, people, what they do is they take the role in one genre of the contest as a contestant, and then other they go and serve as a contest chair. But to expand the opportunities for people and for the to have all the mind space for the contestants, it's better not to take up roles and then also serve as that in the same thing. So that is a recommendation that we give from the district. Whenever you want to be as the chair and you want to be a contestant, so don't do it together. Rather take up opportunities in the forthcoming season. So that would be the best thing to do. And again, the most important thing, can a member compete in 2 areas if the areas are in different divisions or different districts? No. At club level, we are entitled to attend any number of contests, but when it comes to area, we are supposed to choose only one area. For people who hold dual membership in different divisions, it is always only that we are supposed to take up only at one area, even at various districts also. That is Only at club level, we are supposed to contest at all the clubs that we hold membership. When it comes to area, we have to choose for one area in which we are going to contest. By the way, the club treasurer thing that was already given. Then the other thing is about the ineligibility again. Ineligibility again comes in whenever you have completed your, by chance you're qualifying for your area contest or for the division contest, ensure that your treasurer pays your dues. That is something that very, very, very important. Most of the time, there have been scenarios in the past where most of the clubs, they have this practice of paying the dues for all the 20 members or all the 15 members together at one shot. At times, what happens? So you would have transferred the money to the treasurer, but the treasurer in turn would have missed it. If you are a contestant and you have proceeded to the next level, trace your treasurer and get your payment, at least your payment done on an individual basis, so that rest of the club members, you can go and put it in one shot. So this is something that what we all have to be very diligent if you are a contestant, and even if you have agreed to be a judge elsewhere. For example, there's a forthcoming division contest and you have agreed to be a voting judge there. You have agreed to be a CJ there. But on the day of the contest, your renewal is getting expired and your treasurer has not paid the money, then that would become a very big issue. So better if you're agreeing for any kind of contest roles in the month of September, ensure that your payment is done on the day you transfer the amount to your treasurer. Whatever role that may be, a contest chair or a kind of a CJ or a contestant, irrespective of your role, be very, very cautious to have your payments done through your treasurer. And the other thing that we wanted to tell you is, yes, and then the contest official can serve more than one role. At times, this also becomes when normally when we have backouts, that is what happens. So what happens? The contest chair, they also become the sergeant at arms. They start from the first, or sometimes it's CJs are entitled to become the tie-breaking judges when they don't find more judges. There's always, as Manju said, as the best practice is to have as many number of backups as possible. That would be the best thing to do, so that you can have your judging even more in a very relaxed way. When you're doing this multiple roles, normally what happens, we tend to miss the marking in the ballot. As Satish said, it's someone's destiny. People take so much effort to come and contest in a contest in Toastmasters. There have been people who have been trying for ages to win at the division level and the district level. So our kind of little bit of ignorance, our kind of a take it for granted shouldn't be a factor in changing someone else's desires and aspirations. So it is always better not to take up any kind of multiple roles during the contest. Stick on to one role. That is the best thing to do. And the alternate speaker and other things we have already seen. Alternate speaker is something
Yes.
who shouldn't be eligible.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vaishali. Sorry to interrupt. Just a quick time check. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let us proceed with the contest. Now I would request the Zoom master to move the contestant number 2 and 3 to the breakout room and have contestant. Okay, already done.
Yeah.
Okay, so let us begin with the contest.
So we have the two essays also with the contestants, and the contestants are keeping the papers away on a desk or table which is visible. As last year's addendum we are following.
Okay. Thank you, Manju, for confirming.
Yeah, the CJ has to confirm after inspecting. So I'm confirming that yes, they are.
Yes, yes. Okay. So let us have our contestant number 1, Rupa Vidya, to be put on spotlight. Okay. So can we
The Zoom master to mute some other member of audience.
Trying to check that only, ma'am. Just give me a minute. Trying to check only that. Who is not on mute? Who's trying to check that?
Okay, thank you so much. Over to
yeah. Rupa, can you, yes, can we do a quick audio video check? Rupa, can you please repeat after me? Mock contest 1, 2, 3.
Mock contest 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so can you please pin the timer, Praveena?
I've been unable to pin the timer. So could the Zoom
Praveena,
master?
you should be on video.
Right.
Yeah. Praveena, can you just share? Open your video? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hope you are able to pin her now.
Right.
Zoom master, can you also
Okay.
spotlight? Yeah, thank you. Both of them.
Chief Judge Manju, can you please confirm if the contestant is audible and visible?
Yes, contestant is audible and visible.
Contestant number 1, Rupa Vidya. Rupa Vidya, contestant number 1.
Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, my dear guests and friends. Good afternoon to one and all present here. Let's not wait any time and waste any time and jump right into the gifts of Toastmaster Rahul's speech. Starting with the first gift, the structure of his speech. He had a very clear introduction, a body, and a conclusion. He started with a bang, showing us a gift he had received from District 120. Went on to tell us about his life in the corporate and about how he quit it in 2011 and decided to pursue his passion. This very clear linear structure helped everyone in the audience to follow along with Toastmaster Rahul. The second thing I liked a lot about Toastmaster Rahul's speech was the very clear message that he had. Unravel the gifts that you possess. This message was repeatedly reinforced throughout the speech, starting where he told us about his brave decision to quit his job after 3 months of contemplation, moving on to when he explored several things like music and theater and so many other things and decided that reading, writing, and speaking were his true calling. And lastly, he had a recurring theme, the gift. This was the title of his speech, and this was repeatedly used in the speech as well, be it the Toastmasters gift, the gift coupons, or this gift himself. Now, to make sure that he makes the most use of these gifts, I have for him 2 suggestions, or 2 gifts that I would like to give him, if you would call it that. His voice modulation and his pace. Now consider this sentence. Samsung was my dream company. And consider saying it like this. Samsung was my dream company. Stressing on that word dream shows us how important it was for Toastmaster Rahul. It was his dream, or it was his dream. So Toastmaster Rahul can try modulating his voice and stressing on the word that he would like to stress on. Is he caring about the fact that this is something in his past? Or is he caring about the fact that this is something that meant so much to him? The second thing that I would like to reiterate is his pace. Now consider these 2 sentences. Samsung was my dream company. I wrote 10 books for children. I left my lucrative job and joined with a package 5 days lesson. Don't we all feel like these 3 sentences were said in the exact same pace? Now consider the little amount of magic that we can add to this speech if we break that pace. I wrote 10 books for children. I left my lucrative job and went for a 5 times lesser package. Now, breaking this pace and giving the right pauses would make the audience pay more attention to Toastmaster Rahul's speech and pay attention to those junctures in his life that he wants us to focus on. So, to summarize, this was a wonderful speech with an excellent structure, a recurring theme, and a clear message. To improve upon himself, Toastmaster Rahul can focus on his voice modulation and his pace. Back to the contest master.
Let us now give 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Zoom master, can you please bring the contestant number 2?
In usual contest, 1 minute will be strictly observed because it's a mock contest. To save time during this time, maybe we can do the audio.
Definitely.
So do we have the second contestant?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, he's here.
Okay.
Am I audible and visible?
Is Aditya? Okay, so he is on spotlight. Can you please, to check your audio, can you please repeat after me? Mock contest 1, 2, 3.
Mock contest 1, 2, 3.
Okay, Chief Judge Manju, can you please confirm if he is audible and visible?
He's audible.
Okay. I hope you have pinned the timer, Pravina.
Yes. Yeah, the timer message that 1 minute is over.
Okay, so contestant number 2, Aditya Chaganti. Aditya Chaganti, contestant number 2.
Stories are universal. Some stories cheer us up, and some inspire and motivate us to do better and be a better human being. Today's story shared by Toastmaster Rahul is one speech which not only inspired us but motivated us to do better. And I thank my target speaker, Toastmaster Rahul, for sharing an incredible, dramatic, and thoroughly inspiring story with all of us. Your opening of the story was very catchy, and I loved your gestures when you started tagging the people and also calling out the names. It was quite funny, and I can quite relate to it and how I tag the people when I'm on the social media. When you said you start reading the books between the Gurgaon and Noida for the 2 hours, it was a big wow moment for me, because for me reading 30 minutes itself was very difficult. So I felt you could have probably added a little more drama around it, saying it was from Gurgaon to Noida for 2 hours, so people could really understand that 2 hours is really such a big deal reading the books. And when you stated Samsung is my dream company and all this, I can very well resonate with you, the feeling of how people can relate when they got a job in their dream company. So again, probably a little bit of more dramatization around it would have made a more bit impactful. And when you mentioned it took 3 minutes to realize 3 months to realize what's your inner calling and all this, probably you could have added what made you to realize that feeling, on how you eventually realized that. That probably is something which I would have loved to see as an audience. I loved the way you mentioned that you tried multiple arts like music, mixed arts, reading, writing books. So which tells you that what your thought process is during the entire period and how you eventually selected or narrowed down to the book writing. And when you mentioned towards the end that money matters, not all the time money matters, and during the 7 years you developed 2 to 3 schools and some of your books were the best selling. So that was the wow moment probably, or the takeaway which probably the audience take from this speech on your transformation from your entrepreneur to the author. So what I felt in towards the end is probably you could have told the people about your story and the struggle to transform and eventually how you have succeeded. So people could have taken that as an story and can relate it, rather than just saying that, okay, I would have transformed from A to B. So out and out, congratulations on a very job well done. I liked your confidence, your narratives, your body language could probably be improved in a little areas, but otherwise I thoroughly enjoyed. It was very inspirational story, at least personally for me, and look all the best and looking forward to more speeches from you. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Zoom Master, can you please bring the last contestant and also the sergeant
Yeah,
at arms back?
yeah, they'll be here in circa 20 seconds maximum.
Okay.
So actually just want to make an announcement. Apart from timer Praveena, we also have a second timer here. So all the contestants have pinned that person as well. That second timer is Shushmita here. So for the audience benefit, probably we will pin and show as well. So that if one of the timer gets dropped off in online contest particularly, in offline usually only one timer will show the signal, the timing signal, the other will write, but in online since the main timer, the chief timer may get dropped off or something like that. Suppose Praveena gets dropped off, it's always safe to have the second timer also pinned. So here we'll be pinning, we'll be requesting Zoom Master to pin timer to Shushmita as well. Spotlight please.
Brightly, to check your audio, mock contest 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Timer, Pravina. Hope you have pinned the timer, Pravina.
Yeah, you can pin both the timers. Timer 1, Pravina. Timer 2, Sushmita. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Chief Judge Manju, can you please confirm if Brightline
Yeah.
is audible?
Brightline is audible and visible.
Contestant number 3, Brightline Pavitra. Brightline Pavitra, contestant number 3.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests present here. The most important thing in speech is body language. 50% we can determine how well the talk will go before the speaker step on the platform by their body language. Today, my target speaker didn't show his nervousness outside. He stands comfortable with the audience and he started his speech with bright eyes and bushy tail. People will forget what you say. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And today, my target speaker rocked the stage. I have noticed many positive things. Out of that, I would like to tell few things which I admire most. Even before his speech started, the expression and the way he stands, the confidence he had, surprised me. How can one be like that? That spoke before he started each. Because a speaker will be measured by his confidence level and lack of anxiety. Only if there is no tension, we can make our point clear and that will grab the attention of audience. And today he nailed it perfectly. Body language is not only the movement, the hand movements has to be there, the proper eye contact has to be there. These are present in your speech. As an evaluator, it's my duty to move the speaker to move on to the next level. So for that, I have a few recommendations on this commentation. You had a very good body gestures like hand movements, eye contact, but I thought something missed, which is nothing but you must to use the wide variety of stage. Okay, I understood. It's an online meet, but you can try to use the little more area. That will help to grab the attention of audience from all sides. Purposeful body movement complements your message and adds authenticity to your overall delivery. As you move from the center of the area to the left or to the right, full body movement brings you closer to the different audience and immediately attract attention from your audience. But keep in mind, avoid frequent movement. Purposeful movement is preferable. So I will summarize my point. You had a very good body language, proper eye contact, and content. If you try to use the wide variety of stage, the red carpet is waiting for you. Over to Toastmaster.
This concludes our evaluation speech contest. And yeah, in the ideal contest, there would be 2 minutes of silence that would be given for the judges to tally their ballots. Since it is a mock contest right now, I would like to mention that this concludes the contest and I would like to hand over to the team Toastmaster.
Yes. So I'm just collecting the timer report from all the people as well as the judges ballot. Judges ballot, the tally counters are helping, and the timer report I'm collecting by myself. Yes. Okay. So I'll be sharing the tally sheet with you in a short while as soon as I have the in a real contest. The tally counters would be actually doing it. So just to save time, now I have the filled tally counter sheet which I'll be sharing in another couple of minutes. So meanwhile, I would request the Zoom master to spotlight Toastmaster Vaishali also, and we'll probably take some questions which were already put in the chat and which I think this panel can answer in that 2 minutes while we wait for the judges. I'll request Subramaniam and Toastmaster DTM Subramaniam and Toastmaster Vaishali to please take over while I consolidate the judges' ballot. The questions are put in the chat window by DTM Subramanian, and he has put certain questions, right? You can look at that. Yeah. So, Subbu sir, would you like to take over?
Yeah.
And Vaishali, yes.
Yeah, I think the means MC Gopika has collected all the questions. Gopika, can you confirm?
I have the questions.
I am just spotlight. I'll just again spotlight her for now. Yeah, just give me a minute. Yeah, please go again ahead now.
Okay, I'll read it out one by one. Is that fine?
Yep, sure.
So Camellia asked, the voting judge gets 2 minutes to record the marks, calculate and provide ballots to ballot counter. So, sorry, my video was not. The voting judge gets 2 minutes to record the marks, calculate and produce a ballot to ballot counter. So can we have 3 minutes instead of 2 minutes? This is dependent on the club, area or division.
The general rule from Toastmasters, whatever we get in the script is only for 2 minutes. So in between each contestant, anyway, we are getting 1 minute. The last 2 minutes is where we actually put on that 1, 2, 3. So it's a standard timing to follow for 2 minutes. So we don't have any additions and that can be modified in accordance to club, division or this. Normally we get only 2 minutes.
Rangarajan has asked, is the eligibility criteria applicable to the chief judge, voting judge as well? If they have not paid the fees on 1st October, but paid on 2nd October.
It is applicable for voting judge, chief judge, tie-breaking judge, all the role players, contestant, it is everything. So the basic rule to qualify to become a member, judge, role player, whatever it is, to be a member of Toastmasters. So it becomes just common for everybody, irrespective of the role they are playing.
Ashwati has asked, it says appointment of timer should be done by the chief judge. Is it so?
I think Subbu sir is the right person to answer.
Yes. Appointment of timer and tally counters, I think Manju also had covered in detail. It is as per the rule book, appointment and counseling of timers and tally counters is done by the chief judge. Okay, so however, the chief judge can request the contest chair in case if there is a difficulty in fixing those role players, can request the contest chair to assist in appointing timer. Okay, in any case, the briefing would be conducted by the chief judge.
Okay.
Hope that clarifies.
Deepak has asked, if for humorous speech contest, a contestant speaks on taboo topic, should the judges be marking them down, even if it was a humorous and had proper speech structure, just on the basis of taboo topic? And shall the chief judge advise the judges to mark down any taboo topic speakers?
Actually, I would like to stand corrected here, because as per the TMI rule, I expressed my point that as per district we could say sex, religion, politics, but actually as per the TM rule book, right? Here I would like to thank our immediate past contest chief judge, immediate past chief judge DTM Reena as well, because as per the rule book it's very clear there is no such thing as sex, religion, politics or taboo topics, but in district generally, if you see in our district, we follow that for club contest. So the only thing is as per rule book there's no such thing, but however if it offends other people, right, in such a scenario we can probably consider, that is my recommendation, consider avoiding as a recommendation. But however, the rule book, Toastmaster rule book does not state that. So I want to thank DTM Reena for that point.
Ma'am, if you may allow, I have one more point to be added. Okay, so if you see the rule book, again, we would reiterate, please go through the rule book. The rule book, actually Manju also covered in her slide. In the page number 23, first line, it states each contestant selects their own speech topics. Okay, some of the content may be personal in nature and contain language, ideas, or beliefs that some audiences may consider sensitive. Okay, so this, I think, considering this factor, they make a total score. So please read the rule book again.
Okay. So here I would like to add on one more point. I'll show you one screen. Okay, eligibility. There is a particular tool called Eligibility Assistant. Okay, this you can go to Leadership Central. You will have access only if you are an XCOM member, right? XCOM member. You can ask your president or VPA to take this, or the district officers will have access to this. So why I am telling this is because we checked yesterday in the club roster, right? Club roster, that last payment received date is not there. Are you getting? Suppose October 2nd the contest is being held, whether the payment was made on October 1st or 2nd or 3rd is not reflecting in the club roster. Club roster will show whether you are a member or not, and the start date will be always default first day of the month. The only place where you can actually see last payment received is if you are not a member of the Club XCOM. Club XCOM can always go to the submit payment, no, or the payment history option and see also. But if you are a contest official or a district officer, what you can do is you can put this member name in the eligibility assistant. So eligibility assistant, I hope you are able to see my screen, right? Member profile, here I have taken example of Kriba Jacob. She is a member of club name Oceans Toastmasters Club. Here you can really see on which date she paid, 6th of September 2020 or 26th of March 2021. Okay, so this is what the contest officials, that is the contest chair or the chief judge, may use for eligibility. Okay, and secondly, the club status also part of the TMI rulebook. So if the club status, club is not in good standing also, that will be clear here. Okay, so this is what the contest chair. So what a contestant can do is, contestant can always check in their own login before you go for the contest, check whether your payment is reflecting. You can see yours, right? Has your payment been done? You can check that. Also ask your VP or president's help to confirm this thing before you go for a contest, so that tomorrow people won't raise this allegation. It may be true that you might have given the money to your treasurer, but if the treasurer did not pay to TMI, you will still be considered as not eligible. So over to the MC.
You are on mute,
Sriram
Gopika.
has asked, assuming that the see a possibility of hybrid.
Gopika, I have
If
answered
so,
that.
how the
I have answered that in the chat.
Okay, he says he has answered it in the chat. Okay, so now if we have time, shall I show the tally sheet, because we got the judges ballot, and I'll just share the screen and show you the tally sheet. Okay, so what all of you have to do is you have to tell who got first, second and third. I'm not telling that, you have to tell. I didn't fill this total. So can you help me with this? Rupa's score. 3 means the judge marked Rupa as first. Judge 1 marked Rupa as first, Brightlin as second, Aditya as third. Okay, Judge 2, Rupa first again, Aditya second, Brightlin first. In that, sorry, not first, but Brightlin third. So that's why she's getting 1 point. So can you tell me the totals? Rupa, how much total?
14.
Yes. And all the we have considered the timing wise, all have qualified also. So Rupa, I'm putting 14. Okay, what else? Next one, Aditya.
8 for Aditya.
Aditya?
8 for
8. Okay.
And Brightlin also 8.
Brightlin 8.
Yeah.
So now you have a tie, right? Tie means I'm taking the tie breaking ballot. Tie breaking ballot is there with me. Tie breaking ballot. Brightlin. Okay, Aditya greater than Brightlin. So that means Aditya gets second.
Second place.
So is that okay? So I'm putting here second. Okay, Aditya second. I'll put it this way so that you can all see. You can see the screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, and this one is third. Okay, now what we will do is in the tally sheet you will have to type the names again. So preferably capital letter Rupa Vidya. Second, who's second? Aditya, right?
Aditya.
Aditya C. And third is Brightlin.
Brightly.
Yeah, Brightlin Pavitra. Okay, so this is it. So now the tally sheet has been filled. What is the next step? What is the next form that the CJ has to fill? Before notification, there is another form. I told no, this is 1, 2, 3. The other one will be 3, 2, 1.
The announcement.
Results form. Results form. So if there is a certificate to be filled, no. So the results form you will share with the contest chair. The contest chair can fill the certificate. Anyway, the certificates have to be signed by the contest chair only. Okay, so you can give the results form in 3, 2, 1, and the contest chair will take care of the certificates and then take care. So in soft copy again it will be displayed for online contests. Yeah, the club may choose depending on the contestant, they may send the certificate by courier etc. to people, or they may share soft copy. It is entirely up to the club. So that brings us, so today's winner. So how we will declare? So we will ask Subramanian sir to demonstrate, or maybe if he is not able to unmute, Subramanian sir, will you be able to declare the results?
Okay, so declare the results.
Based
Okay,
on
yeah.
this, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so there were no, let us move ahead to the results of this mock evaluation contest. There were no time disqualifications. Third place winner is Brightlin Pavitra.
So we'll spotlight Brightlin Pavitra at this point, yeah. And if there is any area or district official, we can spotlight them also. Okay, and yes sir, you can move on.
Second place winner, Aditya Chaganti. And first place winner, Rupa Vidya.
Okay, so thank you so much. At this point, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to the test speaker. He is a former area director from District 41, Rahul Sharma. He's also an author. So we thank him for coming on a Sunday morning and then participating in our JTP as a test speaker. We thank you so much, former area director Rahul Sharma from District 41. And we also want to thank all the role players, the SAAs, Toastmaster Vaishali and Toastmaster Sri Krishnan, the timers, Toastmaster Praveena and Toastmaster Sushmita, and we have 3 evaluators, the evaluation contestants, 3 of them, Toastmaster Rupa Vidya, Toastmaster Aditya C and Toastmaster Brightlin Pavitra. We thank you all, and we thank the contest chair. Actually today we had only one person, that is contest chair come contest master, that is BTM Subramanian Srinivasan. Thank you so much. So now we will move on to the questions again. So we request Zoom master to spotlight Toastmaster Vaishali. If you have any questions, we can do that. And we request you to fill the forms that Toastmaster Gopika shared in the chat window, the feedback forms, etc. So if any questions, have all questions been covered?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Before that, we will have a word cloud. MC, over to you.
Thank you so much, trainers, for conducting this session in a wonderful manner. And now let's have the Mentimeter word cloud. I request the Zoom master to launch it. Yes, please. The link is being shared in the chat box. I ask the audience to type something in there.
I forgot to thank all the hidden voting judges. I cannot name them, but I thank all the hidden voting judges for sending the ballot, as well as the tie-breaking judge. Thank you so much.
I am sharing my screen. Let me know once you all can see the screen.
Yes, we can see your screen. Everybody is like, the session was informative and the mock session was great, insightful, and tie-breaking session was so good. The rulebook importance was mentioned really well. Wonderful session. Best practice of contest was, what do you say, they got how the contest should be done nicely. Halo if it was discussed here. It was very useful, exciting, informative, fabulous explanation by the trainers, stupendous trainers, CJ, judges, event management, everything was covered in here. And the rule book, everything was covered perfectly.
Thank you.
Alone, you can do little. Together, we can do so much. Thanks to all the trainers for making this session an engaging and amazing one. You truly are the backbones of our district. Let us break a leg during the upcoming contest season and may the best speaker win. Thank you all once again. And this is Gopika signing off, but not for you folks. Please do stay back for the networking session. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Manju, Subbu, and Vaishali. Great session.
Thank you so much. Do give us feedback. I think the MC gave the feedback links in the chat window. Gopika, can you share our feedback links also?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Manju. That was a nice session.
Yeah, I wish to thank distinguished Toastmaster Aarti because she was behind us for ensuring that we finish all the presentations and preparations ahead. And special thanks, I cannot just thank distinguished Toastmaster Reena because she was spending a lot of time in clarifying certain points, and even with respect to the addendum, last year's addendum, lot of clarifications she provided to our team, three of us. So we wish to thank both of them. And of course, I'll thank all the other, I've contacted DTM Nina, then other past CJs and all. So I wish to place on record my thanks to all the past CJs of the district who have helped, as well as CJs who go for area division and all. I've contacted them offline and taken points from them. So it's whatever we presented is not our gyan, it's more like a consolidation of collective knowledge that our district has. So yeah, there is a question. It says, can the presentations be shared to area directors? Yeah, we will share the PDF versions with we can share it with all the contest. We'll check with the PQD team and then share.
Just a quick question.
Sure.
Before the chief judge presents all the J1, J2, J3, J4, J5, each judge would have individually filled the forms, right?
Yeah, I didn't
Would it be
show
possible
that.
for us to just see how they have filled up so that we also get an idea? Because there's not going to be any names there. Because they've just mentioned, of course, when they mentioned 3 for Rupa, we know that she is in the different category. But individually, the evaluators, they should fill the marks, right?
Yeah, I can tell you one thing, because sharing that will be, because actually that's their personal, they don't have to share it with us also. As per the TM rule, no? I know, for your understanding, we will tell, for example, Brightlin Pavitra, she had summarized, but her summary was not fully, if you see the recording, you will understand. If you go back and check the recording of this session, you will see that Brightlin Pavitra, although she said good points, summary part she lost. Yeah, yeah.
So that's
like
exactly
so
what I had noted down also.
Yeah, summary, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So like that technique, right? Technique, again, if you see, technique is something See, I can tell like this also. For example, if I'm evaluating Rahul Sharma, I said, Rahul Sharma, you did a great job. You are good. And I feel that there are many errors in your speech. Now, if you see my technique is not good, maybe I will tell to recommend it, but I use the word error and all. It is not motivating him. As per our evaluation guidelines in Toastmasters International, it says evaluate to motivate. So the technique used, we have to check based on how they are trying to. As a speaker, suppose you are the speaker, will you feel motivated after listening to this person, or will you feel, oh my god, he's telling errors and all, I'm feeling so demotivated, I'll not even renew my membership. You get it, right? So that technique is very subjective. It depends. You have to put yourself in the shoes of that person. Is this motivating me? The way they gave, is it motivating me? So this evaluation is not about saying, the speech was like an ice cream cone. It had topping on the cherry topping and chocolate cookie. No, it's all about analysis. If you say what were the positives they said, did they use sandwich method? Sandwich method, again, if you can refer TMI evaluation. About evaluation, there are documents actually how to evaluate itself. There is a presentation available in the Toastmasters site. So if you go there, you will see that they have given very clearly we should be evaluating in a way. It's using sandwich methodology, where more positives, then area of improvement, and then followed by again summary. Again should feel like they are inspiring you. It's not like, so summarizing, I found a lot of errors in your speech, these were the errors, then I don't feel motivated as a speaker, right? So in that also you may lose marks. So technique is across from the opening till the conclusion. So Vaishali and Subbu sir, you can add on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Whatever Manju has said is totally correct. That is one thing that we always consider when way that comes. So you as a judge, how much it is appealing to you, because you play you're also a part of the audience. How much you rate. So that is the first thing that you have to keep in mind when you're allocating the marks. So always there would be a mismatch. At times when you're finishing as the voting judge, your results will match the end results. At times it will not match. We will have that conflict. So that generally happens. But over the period of judging, when we get into the rhythm and pattern, most of the times the results tend to match with the end results. So that is the learning we take back as voting judges at the end. So one thing would be to make yourself open and go and judge more contests, so that all these questions start getting answered eventually.
And also to when you're actually listening to the speaker, if you write down the points, for example, use of prop. At the beginning, he used that prop, that from Amazon gift or something, right? So that was a very good start. So that part could have been emphasized, right? That was a good point. So how keenly you're observing, because if, instead of saying only body language, vocal variety, you can say the development, how the speech development was, story, or how the conclusion was it effective? Did he ask a question to the audience? Maybe, if he starts, do you want this gift, or something as a recommendation. If I say, do you want this gift, I will send it, give me your address, put your address in the chat, I'm going to send it to you. Then, or maybe if you say, are you someone who likes gifts, then you might think, yes, I like gifts, right? Surprise gifts. Okay, so then you say, I received this surprise gift, do you know what is inside it? And then build up something and then say. So now this recommendation, we are going into specifics of how he can make the opening more attractive. So in this case, we may give that person, okay, this recommendation was very specific. So recommendations also can be very specific. Vaishali, you can add on.
Correct, whatever they're saying.
I think they're going to close the session now.
Yes, at 1 p.m. we will.
Yeah, please don't mind, because it's a weekend and we actually don't want to take your time. Suppose you have got some again questions. Please feel free to drop in a note to us. You will again surely connect with the trainers and then revert again back to you folks.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
And to answer Chittu Raja from HBI, tally counter can be told at the end, like DTM Reena mentioned, we can recognize the tally counter at the end, at the contest. You can tell this is these were the tally counters. It is okay to give.
CJ,
Yeah.
CJ is recognized towards the end before declaration of the.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
before them, you can recognize the.
Recognize the tally counter. Yeah.
Right. Thank you all for joining. We will meet again in the next TLA session.
Yeah.
I'm
Thanks a
ending
lot.
this meeting right now.
Sure. Thanks.
Thank you all. Have a good day. Stay safe.
You too. Bye.